Hello, everybody, and thank you for joining us right here on Radar Radio. And it is your one and only celebrity host. It is Mike Lee, and I've got two incredible ladies here with me. But before we do that, let me tell you something. We're talking about Sheen Education Foundation. It's a living laboratory of learning and teaching for total education, all in a country schoolhouse setting. Sheen Education Foundation is a search of wisdom, an umbrella prototype for global education, teaching and learning without borders. Ladies and gentlemen, help me welcome Dolores Quinlock Sheen. They call her Aunt Dolores, and Janice Marie Johnson. Thank you, ladies, for joining us tonight.
Good evening.
Thank you.
It is so wonderful to have you. And I want to jump right in because I've been doing some research and just I'm pretty fascinated. I don't even believe I didn't know about this school. And I'm so grateful to a friend of ours and the alumni, Dion Sams, who's going to join us a little bit later so that he can talk to us. But I want to know everything I can tonight about this incredible school. Please tell me, and I want to start first with Dolores Quinlock. Please help us know what this school is about and how this school came about, Dolores.
Sheenway is actually the vision of my father. Dr. Herbert Sheen practiced medicine from Chicago to Texas and then to Watts, California. We arrived in California in 1945. And he's always been a champion for the underserved. So he chose Watts for his practice. We resided in a different area. It was a very nice area, mixed race neighborhood, not elite, but nice. He always wanted us to face reality and to remember who we are and why we are and where we are. I had the luxury of traveling back and forth from the residence in LA to his office in Watts. So I had a chance to see firsthand what was happening in the inner cities. I had a chance to ride home with him every night. So we had one-on-one, and I learned all about racism and segregation and the problems with lack of equanimity. I learned about all that firsthand, and I saw it. I was walking the area, you know how kids do, playing with whatever, and I watched Timon Rodea picking up glass and different shards of things to build the Watts Towers. And when the children would make fun of him, I would say, don't laugh at him. Leave him alone. Let him be who he wants to be. And so I saw how lack of information and lack of exposure to culture, how it could threaten progress. Anyway, to make a long story short, eventually there was the Watts riots of 1965. Mm-hmm. This, of course, is after I met with Janice Marie, but I'll let her start that story.
Yes.
When the Watts riots occurred, of course, they didn't assassinate my father or assault his practice because he was known as the Texas doctor. But I saw what happened. I was stopped so many times. The police thought I was Angela Davis. I had to keep explaining to them, we don't all look alike.
Right.
I was with you most of those times.
Yes, and many times I had to stand up for the underdog, people I didn't even know, to protect their rights of freedom, what have you. But anyway, during the Watts riots, my father got this idea that perhaps if he would fund local businesses, that may stem the tide. And next time there would be no more fire unless fire was fervor. So as a good businessman or a good investor, he gave it 3 years. He gave anybody a no interest loan that would start a business. By 1968, they had failed. So he called a family meeting and said, we have to start a school. Education has to be the banner to get us out of this dismal area of deprivation and low motivation and so forth and so on. So I thought that was a brilliant idea. I dropped out of medical school. I started taking Montessori courses so I could qualify for a school director. During that 3-year period, moving houses from the Bel Air, a very fancy neighborhood, to the Watts area. We started with almost a complete lot, a block, until Richard Pryor donated the rest of the money that we needed for the whole block. At any rate, by 1971, we opened our doors with a preschool through kindergarten and a community center that offered karate and dancing and music and drama and so forth and so on. That's when Beyond became involved with Sheenway, a young man, a teen in the community who wanted something greater, wanted to be exposed to the arts and opportunities that were not available in the public schools. Of course, they didn't have charter schools then, and the private schools, I mean, that was just unattainable. We started in 1971. And during that period, I found out my father had been married to Zora Neale Hurston. So all these things are contributing to what Sheenway eventually became. My early years were spent in Tyler, Texas. So my preschool and kindergarten years, I had country schooling and all the background and things I learned from the Harlem Renaissance and the different things, in the 60s, we had a lot of highlights that were to lead us into supposedly a higher level of thinking. I was exposed to all those things to contribute to the Sheenway experience. We grew from the preschool and kindergarten gradually to high school, Zora Neale Hurston High School, and then we had a 9-building village right in the center of South Los Angeles. And what made us and still makes us different from other schools is not only the country schooling approach, not only the Montessori theories that permeate all of our educational dogma, but exposure to multicultures. As you know, we're a Sheenway School and Culture Center. The understanding of who we are, that nothing is out of reach, that if we can't get out into the world, I'll bring the world to them. All of the things that make us worry and make us feel limited, I wanted them to be empowered to do whatever they could. I don't care if they had a mental challenge or a physical challenge or a social challenge. That didn't make any difference. Everybody had a chance to find their greatness. And so here we are, 50 years.
And we're here really to talk about the GoFundMe page that has been set up, because tell us a little bit of why that page was set up.
25 years ago, I found my roots in Ghana, West Africa, that I was a member of the Ewe tribe. And 25 years ago, researching your ancestry wasn't that popular as it is now. At any rate, the chief of the village that I finally could target gave me 55 acres. You don't get land in the bush. Now, you can maybe buy land in the city, but they don't give you land in the bush. That's tribal. And the only thing I could think of to make that gesture honorable would be to start another Sheenway. I saw how they were limited, underserved, victims of colonialism, and so forth and so on. So Sheenway School was the first private school registered in the Volta area of Ghana, West Africa, probably in the whole of Ghana. And we started off the same way, except there, because in the villages in the bush, children didn't get a chance to go to school. They didn't get a chance to have even a government education, not to mention a private education. So we had children 12, 14 years old starting kindergarten. I mean, it was a whole new experience. They didn't stay there, of course, but we have now, gone through all the grades. We're starting on capital development because I believe in entrepreneurs. I believe in Black growing. I believe that you don't just learn what, you learn how, and then you become the why. If you can't do it, who's going to do it?
Right.
So that's how that started.
Wow, that's incredible. We've got two alumni here with us. Dion just joined us here also. And we've got, ladies and gentlemen, the one and only Miss Janice Marie Johnson is here. You remember her from the hit group, A Taste of Honey. And she was one of the very first to join that school. Janice, how are you?
Yes, I'm wonderful. How are you doing?
I am great and very glad to have you all on. That was an incredible story that Dolores just told us about the school and how it formed. Tell us, how did you become the first student of this school?
I am actually, my story starts, I think it was 1964.
Wow.
I'll tell you my age. I was 10 years old in 1964. And
And look at her now.
Hey, 10 years old, I would say something else, but that's okay. I was young and tender and filled with energy. It was St. Cecilia's School. An announcement, one of the nuns, I think it was Sister Thomasita, had read that there was a young lady that was going to be opening up an after-school workshop, kind of like the community center she was talking about.
Uh-huh.
It was going to offer enrichment programs, singing, dancing, acting, karate, and that's right up my alley. I've been a little ham since I was young. I was singing and dancing before I could walk. So when the school bell rang, I went flying over there to that workshop. It was in our, what do you call it, cafeteria?
Uh-huh.
The cafeteria auditorium. And I went flying over there, and Mother Sheen standing in the doorway. And I said, "Can you make me a star?" I didn't say hello. I didn't say, "How are you?" I didn't say anything. "Can you make me a star?" And she says, "Well, what do you do?" I said, "I sing, I dance, I do everything." And she said, "Well, let me see what you can do. Let me see what you can do right here, right now." I guess she's trying to see if you're shy or not. Nothing shy about me.
Wow.
Nothing shy. I started singing. I remember, I think it was "Stop in the Name of Love."
Wow.
I had all my Supreme routines worked out. She said, "Okay, you're in." And that's where it started. And from that day when I was 10 years old until 50 years later, I haven't left her side. Because what I learned at Sheenway prepared me for my future. And in addition to the music classes I took, the dancing classes, which prepared me for the stage, I think one of the more important things I learned was how to think for myself, how to be a leader, not to follow the crowd, and to do the right thing even when no one is watching. Believe in yourself. Those kind of things is what I really learned, because along the way, even with the Taste of Honey, even getting right down to the song Boogie Oogie Oogie, I was told it's too elementary and change it. Ding dong, Sheenway, fight for what you believe in. So I didn't change it. Right. It's too elementary. A lot of things I was told. Sukiyaki, nobody wants to hear Japanese music. I'm not going to allow you to do that. Ding dong, Sheenway, fight for what you believe in. Stand up for what you know.
Right.
So there were things that I learned along the way in doing the interviews, in 78 when Boogie was a big hit record, how to speak to the press. I didn't know that. So there's things that you learn that you don't even realize you're learning until you're an adult and you go to apply them. My sister Sharon went to the after school workshop too, and we talk about it all the time. We ask ourselves, how would our lives have turned out had it not been for Sheenway? Now, a lot of us come from dysfunctional families. Mine just might win the award. So when you think about it, I lived in like 22 places by the time I was 16. Sheenway offered me stability, somewhere to go after school, and on the weekends to keep me out of trouble with all the other kids were doing. So, it was a very good thing to have focus in your life. And she taught me, if that's what you want to do, then go after it. You have to do the work. Oh, you think you're going to do that easily? Oh, no. One more time. I learned with Mother Sheen in rehearsals, one more time does not mean one more time.
Right.
Wow.
It does not mean one more time. So, I mean, really, when I talk about Sheenway, it really makes me sensitive, because I can honestly say, excuse me, I don't know where I would be in my life had it not been for the foundation laid at Sheenway. I really don't know. I have no clue. But I'm here. I'm still here, and I'm not going anywhere.
Yes. Me tonight, it is about Sheenway, and I just think that I was telling you, there should be a Sheenway in every city all over the world because of
Yes.
we've been talking back and forth over the last few days and to digest what this school has done to so many children, so many lives, and people have gone on to do great things. Look at you, Janice. You've gone on to be an incredible superstar, a Wonder Woman. People, you've opened the door for women who play. There's so many women out here who respect women like you, musicians who are guitarists, who are bass players, who are drummers, and it is because of the lady that is right here with us today, Aunt Dolores.
Right. I have to say something. You
Yes,
notice I called her Mother Sheen.
yes, yes, yes.
I have that right because you do not have that right.
I don't have that
And I'm
yet.
going to tell you something. If
Right.
you met me in the early 70s, I could tell how long people have known me by what they call me. If
Uh,
someone says, JJ,
uh-huh.
okay, that comes from the early days. Well,
Uh-huh.
back then I called her Mother Blunt, which was her married
Mm.
name at the time.
Wow.
She was never my aunt. She was always my mother.
Mm.
So when she went back to her maiden name, she wasn't Aunt Dolores, she was Mother Sheen. So
Wow.
since you don't go back that far, you can call her Aunt Dolores.
I'll
I won't
call
get mad if you, I won't be upset if you call her Mother Sheen, no.
Well,
I might adopt you as my brother.
right, exactly right. When I was talking with Dion, who just joined us a moment ago, and we're going to be talking with him in a second, he gave me the description of everything. He said, but they call her Aunt Dolores. That's what we call her. And when he told me that, it just said so much about the relationship between Aunt Dolores and the school, the children, the staff, the faculty, everybody. That really everyone was family that walked through their doors about connecting with everyone and everyone in his family. And I think that is so, so moving. And if we had more of that today in our schools and in the world, just imagine,
Absolutely.
just imagine.
Absolutely.
I can't even express where we'd be as a culture and as a world, you know.
We'd be much further along than where we are.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
guarantee
yeah.
you that. When we
Which is
did it the
why,
Sheen way,
yeah, which is why the GoFundMe page was set up. Janice, can you just, before we get to Dion, and we're going to take a little break, and also we're going to get back to Dolores, can you tell us a little bit about why we need this money? We need people to donate $1, $2, everything adds up. If you got 1,000,000, if you got 1,000 or $1, we need this money for the school. And can you let our audience know why this money's needed?
yes, every penny counts. It's one thing about Sheenway that's unique to a lot of other schools. We don't now, nor have we ever accepted government funding.
Hmm.
Now, here's why. When you accept money from the government, they own you. They tell you how to teach. They tell you what to do. And basically, they teach for the test. They don't teach for
Hmm.
life. Sheenway teaches for
Wow.
life. When you leave Sheenway, you're going to have a few vocational skills because we teach you everything we know. But since we're not receiving funds from the government, we get it from our supporters, donors, sometimes grants. We need money for our new program. We need money all the time, but one of the new programs that we're putting in operation now is called the EduTech Center, which is our computer lab. Our children are having to deal with the effects of COVID-19, and they need their MacBooks at home. We need internet service. We need to take care of Ghana. We need to be able to communicate between the two campuses. And Mother Sheen, why don't you add on, because I know you've got something more to add to that.
Well, the important thing about the EduTech Lab is it is a bridge between the hood and the bush. They
Hmm.
can learn side by side from each other. It's an 7 hour time difference, but because of the technology, we can record and the, our children don't really know about American African or African American history. It's not really taught properly, either here or in Africa. And this way, the truth can be highlighted. Critical thinking is so important for your decision making, what kind of career you want to choose, how you want to contribute to your family, to your community, who you want to be, so forth and so on. So the EduTech Lab will be a virtual classroom a global virtual classroom between two schools that have the same premise, they have the same methodology, they have the same uh, uh, drive to be totally educated. They can learn, we can learn from each other and also be a model for other schools or other organizations or other families that are underserved.
Tell us a little bit about the Sankofa symbol.
Sankofa is the bird that reaches back into history so that it knows where it has to go in the future. And that's our school symbol. We're the heart of the Sankofa because we not only reached back in America. I mean, I reached back and found my great-great-grandmother taken as a slave from Ghana to England, Thomas Sheen, educating the two sons she bore to operate his sugar plantations in the British West Indies. So I traced everything back to the 1751. Then I wanted to go further, and Sankofa took me further. I found out even further. I met the woman who knew my great-great-grandmother. She was still alive at 116 years old.
Oh my!
So if you know your history, you know what your pathway can be to the future. And that's what Sankofa means.
Oh, that's beautiful. Wow. Dion Sams, how are you today?
Hey, I'm good today.
Excellent.
And just honored to be among everyone on this panel tonight, and especially honored to be here representing Sheenway and what it has done for me and my career as an actor and just as a person in general.
Let's talk about that, Dion. Where would you be without this school if it had not been a part of your life at your earliest? What do you think you would be?
You know, there's no telling where I would be if it hadn't been for Sheenway, because it was not only my foundation, it was my groundwork for life. There were so many things that I had learned as a young adolescent at Sheenway that have propelled me into my adulthood, and that has also prepared me for things that my adulthood has challenged me with. So Sheenway has offered more than just a stepway into a career as an artist. It has been a stepway into my life.
Why is the fundraiser important to you that people need to give money to support Sheenway?
Well, here's the deal. Sheenway was there for me when I attended Sheenway, and we need to have this school still here for the next person or the next generation and the following generations. This school has been in the same location that I'm from in South Central Los Angeles. It has still been on Broadway and 104th, and it has represented, you know, not just education, it has also represented culture for that part of the community in which that I grew up and my family grew up in. I was introduced to Sheenway, just to say it briefly, is my two cousins went to the private educational side of Sheenway. And my aunt at the time had told me they had a theater, arts, and repertory program, and I should go to the school and audition to see if I could get in. And I remember one of the fundamental things that Sheenway taught me was how to be a professional, period. You always show up and be professional. That's what still lives in me today. And that's what I believe in, being a professional at all times, no matter what the situation. And Dolores used to tell us back in the day, you know, we would say the stage was too small. She would say, you should be able to perform on this on the size of a blue chip stamp.
Wow.
I don't know if you remember that.
That's her. That sounds like something she would say.
And so the blue chip stamp like stood in my head, and I'm like, it's a blue chip stamp is this big.
Right.
Perform.
Orb.
You know,
Wow.
and if I just really talk about, you know, where Sheenway has led me, I actually had gotten my first manager through Sheenway. It was a manager who came to the school and was looking at the talent there, because there was an abundance of talent that came out of Sheenway. You know, Janice paved the way, and Dolores laid the groundwork and made the space available for us. Now you have to understand, this is the hood. This is 101st, 2nd, and Broadway. I lived on 104th and Figueroa. This is not Brentwood. This is not Santa Monica, where a facility such as this would exist. So this facility exists in a place where people like me, like you, can all take part of. And that's why Sheenway is so important to that community. And now to hear that its expansion has gone to Ghana, tell me God ain't good.
Wow.
Right.
Excellent, excellent, excellent. Aunt Dolores, I want to come back to you one moment and talk about some of the things that people might want to know about the school. What's the, like, in that school, what's the average class size?
The first, in the village, the average class size was 10 or 11. And now the average class size is 5. We've situated the enrollment to comply with the coronavirus problem. I don't believe in large classes, but I believe in mixed classes. I don't believe in a straight 5th grade or a straight 1st grade, because no two children are alike. In country schooling, you find out you can learn more with the variety and the balance of ages. But at the moment, the Sheenway classes, but we've limited it to 5. Now in the high school, which we lease to a charter school, they're a little bit different. I'm a consultant for them. We had to change our 9-building village to build the high school to take up half the block in order to make sure we had income coming in. We don't take government money. We've never taken government money. We own a whole city block. We have the school in Ghana. We have a school without borders. So I go out into the community and teach at the local parks, the sheriff's station, LAPD, even a school in the Pacific Palisades, an exclusive private school. Sheenway has no boundaries. So we have a program where we reach as far as we can to show the power of the mind, the power of independent and critical thinking, the power of developing your potential, the power of being somebody. So that's the average class size.
Excellent, excellent. We're going to, I love it, Guys, we're going to take a little bit of break, and then we're going to come back and we're going to talk more with these incredible people. And we're going to actually talk with Janice about some of the highlights of her career after Sheen. We'll be right back. Okay, guys, let's take a little 5-minute here. How you guys feel?
All right.
That was awesome.
That got me crying.
Janice, you almost got me, Janice.
Hey.
Almost got me. Whoa.
You know,
Dion, do you remember Sunshine Sammy?
Of course. Trina just sent me a picture of me and Sunshine Sammy.
Exactly. You were exposed to the greats. You see, it wasn't, when you were coming along, they didn't have a lot of people that looked like us doing a lot of things. And you came at a time where, in order to establish the importance of just being alive, there were people that had to be your hero. Of course, Papa was a hero, but he wasn't alive when you came. But Sunshine Sammy brought in that special air of history, and you were just right there along. You were the whiz.
That was it. And Mr. Channing. Remember Mr. Channing?
Yes, of course.
Yes.
Yeah.
He was our choreographer and dancer. Mr. Channing, Ronald Channing, went to Jefferson High School with Alvin Ailey.
Okay.
And Mr. Channing used to dance with Carmen DeLavalade. And when Alvin Ailey saw the beautiful chemistry and how they performed, that's what made Alvin Ailey want to go into dance. And that's in his book. In his book, on his bio, he wrote that about Mr. Channing.
Wow.
And Alvin Ailey came to the school several times and exposed, I don't believe Janice was there when he came, but because by then she was
probably on the road.
Yeah, on the road. But, there are a lot of people who are part of our history. Mitchell, can't think of his first name, Dan Steele of Harlem. He offered scholarships to our kids. I mean, I can go on and on about people who found themselves coming someplace that actually was teaching. We weren't there trying to make money, still aren't. We never operated as a business, only as a school. And to go somewhere where you could see 24/7 children learning not just how to, say some lines or memorize some lines, but they're learning Shakespeare. The actress Jenny Agutter, you saw her in Walkabout, and now she's on Call the Midwives, British a British TV show. She taught Shakespeare, and in order to interest the children, she used rap.
Yep,
She
I
used
remember
rap.
her.
And we
I
were the
remember
first ones to do Shakespeare rap. After we did it, they had us on Good Morning LA TV News. And then after that, that's when the Cosby Show had one of their shows talked about rap and Shakespeare. To this day, I use rap a lot. And we have a new upcoming fundraiser in which Dion is very instrumental in helping us write and include and integrate rap in the script. It's going to be better than Hamilton.
Hey, Mother Sheen, Sheen, can you tell him a little bit about the Sheenway Bakery? Because you mentioned, the entrepreneurs. So we're creating that, and I think that it would be interesting for the people to know about the Sheenway Bakery program.
I love that. And actually, we just took our little break. I love it. We're going to come back in and let's talk about that subject right there. Well, and that was called what again? The bakery?
Sheenway Bakery.
Student Bakery.
Student Bakery, yes.
Sheenway Student Bakery, right? Okay, wonderful. Okay, I'm going to count us back in, guys, in 5, 4, 3, 2. Hello, everybody. We're back, and thanks for joining us. Here's Mike Lee, your celebrity entertainer and host. Tonight, I've got all my friends here. We've got Dion, Sam's, Janice, all from Taste of Honey, and Aunt Dolores. We call her, she's the queen tonight because it's all about Sheenway and this incredible school that is in Los Angeles and in Ghana. It is Sheenway School of Culture Center. And we were just talking about one of the programs that you guys offer, which is the Sheenway Student Bakery, is it?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, please tell us more about that.
Well, back in 1980, when Richard Pryor was working on a movie, This Way Is Up.
Which way is it? Yes.
Do you remember that?
Do I? One of my favorites. It's totally one of my favorites by Richard. Yes. Yeah.
I had a problem with students being afraid to come to class. They were afraid to cross certain lines, certain streets. And I said, I want to talk to these gangbangers that you tell me, these OGs. I want to talk to them. I want to find out, why are they killing people for red and blue? These are kids. Right. And the students told me, they're not going to talk to you. And so my son said, well, if you get somebody they really like, maybe they'll come and talk. Well, see, I'm a peaceful protester. I'm a peaceful activist. So I wanted to talk. Let me know what's going on, and maybe I can find a way to get a greater understanding between all, factions. Mm-hmm. So I said, well, who could we get that they like? And my son said, Richard Pryor. If you get Richard Pryor, they will come. I said, okay, we're going to get him. He said, do you know him? I said, no, but I will. And lo and behold, I found a way.
That's the way you roll, Mama.
He said he would be glad to come and help. I said, I need you to be like a bribe. I need you to come in so that I can get these OGs. I didn't want gang. I want OGs. I wanted to go to the schools.
Yeah.
So he said, well, let me finish. I got to finish this movie because it was a director's strike coming. He said, give me a couple of weeks and you got me. So I'm thinking to myself, well, I hope he doesn't let us down, because you know how people are. They'll say one thing and they mean another.
Yeah.
But anyway, I jumped into it. I went to the police. I told them I don't want no problems. I don't want you stopping people coming to this meeting. They thought I was crazy. I went on to the projects. I had my little, my little whatever under the seat, but I'm carrying business cards. I want you to call me. We're going to have a meeting. Richard Pryor is coming. So everybody was looking like, what? Well, the day came. Lord have mercy. Before they could come in, I'd say, honey, give me a little red rag. He said, oh no, I got a cold. I said, honey, here's some white Kleenex. We want all the red and blue. They thought I was trying to act, like a nerd, but I knew what was going on.
Right.
I have a black belt in karate, and some of our black belts were in the sheriff department, so we were prepared to handle whatever.
Right.
We get together. He comes into this meeting. I guess you would call it the first summit in Watts. He came to the meeting. We had dialogue. I'm crying like I am now, so excited that they were able to talk. The bottom line was jobs or jail. Some of them couldn't even sign their name. They just wrote an X on the little thing. And make a long story short, he comes over to me and he says, how much is that property you're trying to buy? We were trying to buy the last part of the block to make the whole block. I said, $93,000. He said, I'm gonna give you that money. And I'm thinking, oh, he's just talking, caught into the passion of the time. The next day he called me, when are you coming to get this money? I dropped everything, ran to Century City. He had the check ready, $93,000 to pay for that, but he also gave $50,000 more for me to continue the program that Dion and Janice were in, working with the community, doing whatever I thought was best to allow them to become part of an extended family. So we were so grateful that, I'm teaching cooking, blah, blah, blah. We had a lot of pumpkins in our garden that year, and the kids were getting kind of tired of pumpkin pie. I said, let's make us some pumpkin bread. So they had never heard of pumpkin bread before, neither had I, but I said, we're going to make us some pumpkin bread. It was so good. One of the kids said, can we send one to Mr. Pryor? Because, to say thank you. And I said, sure. We sent some pumpkin bread to Richard Pryor, and he fell in love with it. Almost to the day he left us, he wanted some of that pumpkin bread. Wow. So he was like the whiz of Watts because of him. He started this student-owned business. They decided they were going to have a bakery, and all over the place. Ian McKellen, Jodie Foster, Fran Drescher. I can tell you name. They wanted that pumpkin bread. So we speed forward to this year. We decide we're going to have a mobile bakery. Now, the children have been learning all about math and taxes and, all the things necessary for running a business. This year, because of one of our Board of Trustee members and volunteers, we have a very big law firm who has volunteered to set up the student. They have their own nonprofit organization. They will now learn from the ground up how to run a business, how to do the whole enchilada, as they say. The mobile bakery will be patterned after the Helms trucks that used to go through the neighborhoods selling bakery goods from a truck. So we're going to have we already have our vehicle. We're working on it. It's almost ready to go. We're going to be able to, the children are going to be able to sell their products via a mobile bakery. They can go anywhere with it. And then eventually they're going to learn how to buy a fleet of bakery trucks. I know that education is important, but I also know that if you don't own something in America, you're not respected. And if you have to always work for the man, you're never going to actually ever be independent. So that's the Sheenway Student Bakery, and here we go.
Now you're going to get some of that pumpkin bread.
But as she was talking about I went, that story that you told me played over in my head, and I was like, oh, that's where it comes from.
Right, but you've got to understand, this pumpkin bread is not like the pumpkin bread you buy in the store or any place else. This is the best pumpkin bread in the world. Yes. I can believe it.
If Richard Pryor wanted it almost up until he left,
that's correct.
Some hell of a bread.
That's correct.
And I definitely want to taste it.
Right.
It's good enough to make you want to slap your mama.
Yeah, and put a couple of pounds on in the process.
That's it.
You can't take. It's like those Lay's potato chips. I bet you can't eat just one.
Bet you can't eat just one. Great.
No, you can't. I can't even bring it home. I can't. I bring those loaves home, and I said, I'm going to give this to someone else. Shoot, they better hurry up and get here.
I know, right?
That was yesterday.
Outside of the GoFundMe how can people contribute to the school, and what else can they do? Can they volunteer in certain areas? What else does the school need outside of money, and as well as the GoFundMe? How can people contribute to the school?
Well, if you need for me to answer, I can say we always need volunteers. So it's a little different now with this COVID thing.
Yeah.
So things are kind of like whatever, but volunteers are welcome. Incentives. We're trying to get some children and some sponsors, some chaperones, to go to Ghana, to actually be there and to actually smell and taste and see and feel what it's like to go home. So that's one big thing. The EduTech Lab is part of that, but of course they won't be able to actually be there, but the EduTech Lab will connect. It's really a uniculture, but they don't really know that because, like I said, it's not in the history books. All they know is a little bit about slavery and whatever. They don't understand the kings and the queens. They don't understand the history. They don't understand. It's so much, the 500 dialects and the different tribes and the music and the dancing. For example, our Airway tribe is the only tribe in Ghana that uses the white handkerchief. They flash it when they dance. Different little cultural things,
Right.
Not just the language. I took a drumming class in Copiah, and I had to work on one beat for 9 hours straight. The drumming tells a story. The food tells a story. The clothing, the kente, everything tells a story. So if we could get enough money to take a delegation, that would be my last bucket list.
Oh, that's beautiful.
And we also need in-kind donations. If someone wants to donate a slew of Apple computers, not Apple, Mac, we need computers, we need software, we need computer programs. We can always use supplies, printer paper, printers, stuff like that, digital drives and cameras.
And could people send this stuff directly to the school?
Yes,
absolutely.
We're 501c3. We're a nonprofit organization. Any donation, any contribution is fully tax deductible. Plus, the fulfillment you get from actually being a part of something that gets to the source. I don't get paid a salary, everybody else does, but the money you donate, it definitely goes into the program. It's not going into overhead. Everything is paid for. I make sure that I do all kind of moonlighting jobs. The only thing that we need is for you to get involved, and then you'll see. But everything you give will go directly in the program. It doesn't go in anybody's pocket, doesn't go in anybody's lifestyle. It all goes into the school.
That's beautiful.
And I would like to add to that.
Yes, Dion, was about to come to you.
And just really being concerned with this moment that we're in right now. Black dollars, and if you're trying to find a place to put your black dollars and really see them at work in the community, Sheenway is where you need to put those black dollars.
Good. Yeah.
And I'm serious about that. Just parlaying on what Aunt Dolores just said and how she explained that the money goes directly to the source. Those of you who are really concerned with this moment and really want to see Black businesses thrive and stay alive, Sheenway School and Culture Center needs your help.
Very good. Very good. Very good. Dion, we talked a little bit about Janice earlier today, and I want you to talk a little bit about her. Ladies and gentlemen, I was watching today, and Janice, what was it like? And I'm going to let Dion take it after this. I watched the tape of you winning your Grammy for Best New Artist. You are a Grammy winner, sister. A Best New Artist. I think I got just as excited when I saw, I don't know if you guys remember when Jody Watley won Best New Artist. I remember when you guys won. I remember watching it. I remember. And I remember seeing you, and you came up to the podium. You said what you said. You walked away. You kind of like tears. And I was like, yes. Oh my God, the Boogie Oogie girls. They won. What was that like for you? You were still young. You were still young.
I was my son's age then, 24.
Wow.
Yeah. It was an incredible experience, and one wonderful thing, I was able to take my mother as my date.
Oh, that's wonderful. That's wonderful.
You know, she went and got all dialed up, got new clothes, had her hair and makeup done, and
This was the Grammys. This was the
Grammys
crop of awards that you guys
Yes,
won
that
out
was-
of the box. Out of the box.
But you need something you may not know. A Taste of Honey was the first Black group to win that award. That was not a Black group's award. We didn't win Best New Artist. The only other person that Black that had won that award was Natalie Cole. He's the first solo artist. We were the first group. So, you know, we also performed on that award ceremony. And so we had rehearsals the day before. We would go to rehearsal because we walked down the stairs and had male dancers dancing with us as we walked over to the stage where we were going to perform. And when they would rehearse, you know, it's a live orchestra, so they have to know on the spot when they say, and the winner is Chris Rea, Toto, Elvis Costello in the Cars. By the way, that was my category. And when they say that, the band has to be able to play, the orchestra has to be able to play on a dime. So they would say, and the winner is Elvis Costello, the band plays. And the winner is Chris Rea, and so forth and so on. But they never said, and the winner is A Taste of Honey. And since no Black group in the history of the Grammys had ever won Best New Artist, we definitely didn't think we were going to win. In fact, we rehearsed our polite smiles when they called Chris Rea. We were just going to smile and clap. Oh, we're so happy for you. Yeah, not really, but yeah.
The real deal.
That.
Right.
Yeah, so, you know, that's just the way it was. Black people did not win that award. So, lost my earpiece. When they called my name, when they called the group's name, it was a genuine shock. We cried. We cried like babies. My mother's sitting next to me. We weren't expecting any tears because we weren't expecting to win. She had one Kleenex that she split between Hazel, me, and my mom. The three of us. And we were like in shock when they called the name. We were like sitting down and they said, get up, that's you. And I remember I had not prepared a speech. Why didn't I prepare?
You didn't think you were going to win?
I didn't think I was going to win. Black people don't win that award. I had prepared another one I was nominated as a songwriter as well, and the group was nominated as Best R&B Performer. But you know what's interesting? When you get up there on that stage, even if I had prepared a speech,
you're not prepared.
Did you see me crying like a baby? I was overwhelmed with emotion. I was just on top of the world. These were tears of joy. And all I could get out of my mouth was, you know, I have never forgotten what I said. I said, I want to thank God and you for making our dream come true. Yeah. Thank you.
Yes.
That was it. Now, here's something interesting. While I was downstairs winning the Grammy Award, somebody was upstairs in the dressing room stealing my gold jewelry.
Wow.
Oh, no.
So, but that didn't matter. But here's the crazy thing, and I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna get off the Grammys. I go home. I'm by myself because my mom was my date. I'm living next door to my grandma then, so my mom is next door at the grandma's. I'm on the family property. It's 6 o'clock the last time I remember looking at the clock. My phone rings at 8. It's my Uncle Sonny. And he says, Jan, get up, get your overalls. I need you down here at the beauty shop on Hauser. And whatever, Hauser and Adams. You gotta relay this pipe. Now that's my Uncle Sonny, my mother's brother. He's a character. Uncle Sonny built every studio I ever had. I come from a family of builders, so I know about laying pipe. I know about drywall. I know how to do a lot of things. I don't usually tell people. Yeah, I know how to usually tell folks and they want you to do it. But I said to him, Uncle Sonny, I just won a Grammy Award. He said, that was yesterday. Get your overalls on and get down here. So I said, okay. So I'm used to this kind of work. So I go down there and he said, hold this pipe. My sonny's got some, how can I say this? Sentence enhancers that he would throw out with his words. Hold this sentence enhancer pipe. Hold this straight. So, and meanwhile, I'm helping him. I'm under the beauty shop. I hear the women in the beauty shop all excited and talking about A Taste of Honey having won the Grammy Award the night before.
Wow.
I'm underneath in these
And you're
overalls laying their pipe with my Uncle Sonny.
I love it. I love it. Guys, thank you so much. Any closing words before we leave? Anything that we need to add about the donation? Anything that we need to add about the school right before we leave? This has been an incredible interview. We could go on and on, but I'm going to be nice.
We'll save that for the next time.
We'll save it for the next time because it will be.
We have a website they can check on for information, where to send donations, who we are, our history, www.sheenwayschools.org, SHEENWAYSCHOOLS.
Excellent. Is there anything other than the website? Are you guys on social media, Facebook, or anything else so that people can follow you?
I think Facebook. I'm not too savvy to all this stuff, but
Okay.
I think you're on Facebook.
We're on Facebook, we're on Twitter, we're on Instagram. One of our alumni sets all that up. So if you
Wonderful.
go to our page, you can get all that information.
Okay, excellent. Now,
and watch the videos, because we're putting up a video tonight.
Okay.
That's going to show you over the 50 years. So watch the videos. If you go to YouTube and you type in Sheenway School and Culture Center,
yep,
we got a lot of videos pop up.
Excellent. Dion.
Yes, sir.
Any closing words, sir?
Without Sheenway, there is no Dion.
Excellent.
So we're all about supporting Sheenway and what it stands for, and celebrating Sheenway for what it stands for.
Mm-hmm. Wonderful. Now, Aunt Dolores says that she's not technical, right? Well, she was the first one on. So I just want to make sure that everyone knows that. She was on, her mic was ready. And so I don't know. She might be pretending with you guys like she's kind of like, don't know what she's doing. But I think she might be a guru, a technical guru here.
Like Dion said, I believe in professionalism. I believe in being the best you can be. And I made sure I got here on time because I wasn't going to make Dion look bad or Janice or you.
Do you hear Dolores, Janice? Are you back on?
Hey, Janice.
Did you leave me? Janice. I'm sorry. I'm pushing buttons. I did have one more thing I wanted to say.
Hey, Janice, wait a minute, because I want you to say that we were just joking. I was letting everybody know that, Aunt Dolores had said that she wasn't technical, right? But I think she's not telling you guys the truth. She was the first one on tonight with her mic ready, lights on, everything, and I was like, oh, she was here early. She's like, yeah, I'm not that technical. I was like, I think you are very technical.
Yes, you are. More technical than me.
I just
shut myself off.
Let me tell you, Aunt Dolores, I do these interviews all the time, and some of the most technical people have all these issues logging on. So I'm telling you, I'm not saying this just because you're one of the first people that I've ever had to come on early and was ready to go. Mic on, ready to go.
Experience.
Wow.
That's what we want. We want you to be on it.
So, great example.
I had one thing I wanted to say.
Yes, Janet.
One thing I just wanted to thank you, Mike, for allowing us this platform to get the information out there, because if people don't know, then they can't help us. And what we need all hands on deck for EduTech. So please.
Thank you very much. It's actually my pleasure, and there's so much more work that I want to do. I told Janice, I told her to send me the link for the GoMe, and I wanted to rush to get my little 2 quarters in there because I wanted to be the first to donate. And I want to
you were.
And I want to donate more and more and more and more because I feel so invested into the cause and what this is about. It's about our kids and about our children and education combined with art. I know that it saved my life. So what if I partner or just give, and hopefully there's somebody else's life that's saved just because we gave a little bit. If we all just give a little bit, like Dion said, it's for the kids, it could save a life. So guys, thank you so much for being here with us tonight. I really appreciate it. This is an honor.
Thank
Mike
you.
Lee.
And thank you for that first donation too. That was
Yes.
awesome.
Yeah, I was rushing.
Your
I
name
want to be
is
the first.
you're first on the list.
I want to be the first. So
What did I
everybody,
tell you before? What did I tell you earlier today?
I was
You're
special.
special. You remembered.
I did. And thank you so much. I received that, and you guys are special too. This has been an incredible interview. Thank you, Dion, so much. Aunt Dolores, thank you. It has been an honor to meet you.
Thank you.
I just applaud. I have a love for our elders. I have a love for our elders with wisdom. We need to listen more to our elders and to our leaders. We need to pay attention. You guys have so much to offer us with knowledge. You know, there's so many things about my past and family history that sometimes I can't get because people have passed on. And I just think, you know, when I get to places and I see someone who's older than me, I just gravitate to them because I want that knowledge. I want that wisdom, you know. And so we honor you today because look at your baby. These are your babies. These are your babies. You know.
Thank you.
So
See,
thank you.
like for me, ain't been no crystal stairs.
Oh
I
wow,
still climbing. I still climbing.
Wow, that's so beautiful. But so thank you for everything that you contributed and allowing God to call you to do this.
Yes.
You did it.
Yes.
So thank
You
you.
have no idea. It's been something else.
Wow.
I could talk for another hour.
I could listen for another hour. But hey, we got some ideas we're going to do, so we're going to definitely be able to do that. You all, thank you so much for this incredible interview. And everybody, thank you for joining us tonight. Make sure you go to All Hands on Deck for EduTech. Please donate. Please contribute. This is for babies, for kids. Thank you all, and have a good night. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Brother Mike.
All right.
Thank you.
Excellent.
All right.
Bye.
Hold on 1 second. Okay. Look, I was like trying to ease on out. This fan is doing it. That fan.
Don't get me started. You know, I learned how to be a ham at Sheenway. Mama Sheen said, make it bigger. How are they gonna see you all the way in the back? So anytime there's a camera around.
That fan kept getting its own little showtime. There's a fan. I hear the fan. Oh, there's the fan. The fan.
Thank you so much. I can't help myself. I'm crazy like that. Blame Sheenway.
All right. Thank you guys so much. Have a good night. And I will be in contact with everybody. Thank you.
All right.
Okay,
Love
thank
you.
you.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Have a good night.
Thank you.